Imagine this. You're on a trip, someone approaches you to speak English, and suddenly your heart races. Words seem to disappear, and the only thing that comes to mind is how wonderful it would be able to express myself without getting stuck. This feeling of being blocked is much more common than you might think, and it has nothing to do with intelligence, but rather with the flawed way most people learn English. Now, what if I told you that in just 21 days you could start speaking naturally, without fear, using a simple and straightforward method that focuses on what really matters, expressing yourself, not memorizing? It seems unlikely, I know, but the truth is, learning to communicate in English can be much faster and even more fun than you think. And before you continue, take advantage and subscribe to the channel here. In addition to practical tips, I'll always give you that extra push to keep you going. After all, learning can be easy, transformative, and even fun. Topic 1. The curious word that changes everything. There's a word in English that sums up the true goal of anyone who wants to learn to speak: fluency. Many people simply translate it as fluency, but what few understand is that fluency doesn't mean speaking perfectly without mistakes. In practice, fluency means being able to express yourself naturally, even if you make small mistakes along the way. This is the starting point for the next 21 days. Changing your mindset. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on expression. Imagine talking to a foreign friend and being able to talk about your day, your plans, or even tell a simple story. This is the true milestone of initial fluency. Many people get stuck because they believe they need to master grammar before they can speak. This mindset is a major enemy of progress. After all, how many people do you know who have been studying English for years but still can't hold a simple... Another important point is time. It's not necessary to study for several hours straight. What works is creating a short, consistent routine. 10 to 20 minutes a day, every day, for 21 days. The brain learns better when it receives frequent, small doses of stimulation than when it tries to absorb everything at once. And it's precisely this simple discipline that separates those who only dream of speaking English from those who actually achieve it. In the next topic, you'll understand the first practical pillar of this journey: why communication should come before grammar, and how to apply this to your learning. Topic 3. Communication before grammar. One of the biggest mistakes people make when learning English is believing they can only speak it after they've mastered all the grammar. This creates a mental block and generates insecurity. The truth is, no one learns a language this way. Just think about how you learned Portuguese. First, you started expressing yourself, even when making mistakes, and only later did you fine-tune your speech. When your focus is on communication, you free yourself from the pressure of perfection. Imagine someone asks you, "How are you?" You don't need to construct the most complex answer in the world. Just say, "I'm fine," or "I'm good." Simple, direct, and functional. That's communicating in English. By prioritizing everyday phrases, you quickly build confidence. Every time you can answer a question or start a short conversation, your brain registers a victory. And this feeling is crucial for maintaining motivation. It's much more powerful to feel capable of saying something simple than knowing all the rules for a verb tense you never use. In the coming days of your 21-day journey, this will be your first exercise: choosing key phrases for different everyday situations. In the next section, I'll show you how to practice these phrases the right way, by listening and repeating them out loud, so your mind and mouth naturally adapt to English. Topic 4. The power of listening and repeating out loud. Learning to express yourself in English isn't just a matter of studying words. You need to train your ear to recognize the sounds and, at the same time, get your mouth used to producing them. This is the secret to becoming more natural. Many people study English just by reading, but when it comes time to speak, they get stuck. This happens because the brain isn't accustomed to the actual sound of the language. Therefore, one of the most effective exercises is called listen and repeat. Listening to short phrases in English and repeating them aloud, imitating the pronunciation, rhythm, and even intonation. This simple habit boosts confidence. By repeating it over and over, you'll begin to realize you can pronounce better than you thought you could. Plus, your ear becomes trained to identify patterns, making it easier when someone speaks to you in a real-life situation. And here's an important detail. Don't be shy about practicing out loud. If possible, speak to yourself. Record yourself, and then listen back. This helps you see where you need to improve and makes your progress much faster. In the next topic, we'll explore the third pillar of this journey: how to create daily micro-habits that, in just a few minutes, can transform your learning into consistent results. Topic 5. The power of daily micro-habits. One of the biggest obstacles to learning English is believing that you need to dedicate hours and hours of study every day. This mindset leads to frustration and early abandonment. The good news is that it's not the amount of time that makes the difference, but rather consistency. This is where micro-habits come in. Imagine setting aside just 10 minutes a day to practice English phrases. It could be on your way to work, in line at the grocery store, or even while making coffee. This small daily effort, repeated for 21 days, generates a much greater impact than studying for 3 hours on a single day of the week. Micro-habits work because they make learning easy and natural. Instead of treating English as a burdensome obligation, you start incorporating it into your routine. This creates consistency, and consistency yields results. Plus, small habits are easy to maintain even on busy days. The secret isn't to study when you have free time, but rather to create a fixed space, however short, to practice. This simple discipline is what will make your English a part of your daily routine. And in the next topic, you'll discover how to take this habit to another level, creating simulated real-life scenarios that allow you to practice English as if you are already experiencing these situations. Topic 6. Creating simulated real-world scenarios. Learning real English means preparing for situations you'll actually experience. It's no use simply repeating random words or phrases you'd never use. The quickest way to express yourself in English is to simulate real-life scenarios. Imagine you're in a restaurant. The exercise could involve practicing phrases like asking for the menu, placing an order, or asking for the bill. Or simulate a job interview, introducing yourself and talking a little about your experience. Each practice of this kind makes you feel more prepared for the real situation. These scenarios have 2 major benefits. First, they boost confidence because you've already prepared for that moment. Second, they create practical memories, which help the brain recall phrases much more easily. A simple way to apply this is to write short stories about everyday situations and practice speaking them out loud. You can even use apps or online groups to simulate conversations with others. The important thing is to stop practicing only in the world of rules and start practicing in the world of real life. And in the next topic, I'll show you how to reinforce this process with external resources that can further accelerate your 21-day journey. Topic 7. external resources that accelerate learning. By now, you've realized that the key to expressing yourself in English lies in real sentences, constant practice, and simulated scenarios. But there's a powerful reinforcement: using external resources that make learning easier and more fun. Apps like Duolingo, LinkQ, or Elsa Speak can help you practice your vocabulary and pronunciation. Lighthearted series like Friends or How I Met Your Mother are great for listening because they feature short, everyday dialogue. If you enjoy reading, short, easy books like adaptations of classics in simplified English also work well. Another valuable resource is YouTube channels and podcasts focused on English for beginners. They allow you to learn passively, listening while doing other activities, while still maintaining constant contact with the language. The key is to avoid relying on a single method. Combine what I've shown you so far with these external resources, and you'll accelerate your results. Each tool acts as an extra boost to keep your motivation high and expand your exposure to English. And in the next and final topic, we'll close this journey with a motivational boost: the certainty that in just 21 days, you can completely transform the way you express yourself in English. If you apply these steps consistently, in just 21 days, you'll notice a surprising transformation. Phrases that previously seemed impossible will start to come naturally. Your confidence will increase, and your fear of speaking English will gradually disappear. The key isn't being perfect, but allowing yourself to make mistakes and keep practicing. It's this process of trial and error that creates true fluency. Every little step forward counts, and together they build your ability to express yourself naturally. Now, imagine 3 weeks from now, introducing yourself in English, asking for something on a trip, or even engaging in a simple conversation without feeling that block. This is the result of 21 days of focus and smart practice. So remember, it's not about how long you study, but how you practice. Dedicating just a few minutes a day can completely change the way you communicate. The future of your English depends on what you start doing today.